Friends, in this video, I am going to discuss the three domains of learning, namely cognitive domain, psychomotor domain, and affective domain. Cognitive domain is related to mental process, thinking process. Affective domain is related to emotions, feelings, attitudes, interests, and values, whereas psychomotor domain is demonstrated by physical skills such as movement, coordination, manipulation, skillful performance, speed, actions which demonstrate the fine motor skills such as use of precision instruments or tools. For example, driving a car, throwing a ball, playing a musical instrument, operating instruments in the lab, repairing instruments or equipment. All these are examples of psychomotor domain of learning. You see, here I have presented the three domains of learning: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. All these three domains have interfaced with each other. Holistic learning includes all the three domains of learning. Now, I am going to discuss first the cognitive domain. Bloom's taxonomy of learning levels in cognitive domain. Benjamin S. Bloom, 1950s, developed taxonomy of levels of learning in cognitive domain related to mental process, thinking process. Taxonomy means science of classification. That means classification of different levels of learning in cognitive domain. Bloom's taxonomy was later revised by his student Anderson in 1990s. Revised Bloom's taxonomy is accepted to guide all the faculty to formulate course outcomes at different cognitive levels. Revised Bloom's taxonomy of learning. The lowest level is remember level. At this level, students will be able to remember and recall any subject content without understanding the same. It is the lowest level of learning. Then the next higher level is understand level. Students will be able to understand the subject content. He or she can explain the content in his or her own words and can give new examples. It is next higher level than remember level. Then apply level. At this level, students will be able to apply the learned concepts to new and unknown contexts. It is next higher level than understand level. Then analyze level. At this level, students will be able to break the information into parts, relate between the parts, and also relate between the parts and the whole. It is next higher level than apply level. Then evaluate level. At this level, students will be able to evaluate different designs, products, circuits, software, models, ideas, algorithms, etc. and make judgment as to which is superior with proper justification. It is next higher level than analyze level. Then create level, highest of all the levels of learning. At this level, students will be able to create new designs, new products, new software, new ideas, new models, new materials, new algorithms, etc. for a given application, and it is the highest of all the levels of learning. Revised Bloom's taxonomy of learning levels. You see, remember, understand, and apply. These three are considered to be most basic. Therefore, they are called lower order thinking skills, LOTS. Whereas analyze, evaluate, and create are considered to be more complex. Therefore, they are called higher order thinking skills, HOTS. Please know that there is a hierarchy, ranking order among the levels from remember to create. That means if a student has achieved a particular learning level, he or she must have achieved all the levels lower than that level. Then I shall discuss now the 5 levels of affective domain. The lowest one, receiving and attending. That means students are willing to be aware of the setting or situation and gives attention by choice, open to the experience. Then the next higher level is responding level, willingly participating, obedient, volunteers, find satisfaction in participating, willing readily to respond. Then the third level, higher level, is valuing, motivated to invest, chooses to behave in a certain way frequently, begins to identify with a behavior and commit to it. Then fourth higher level is organizing. Values become systematic, can compare and contrast values and choices, begins to order and prioritize values, chooses to commit to certain values and behaviors. Then fifth level, the highest level, is characterizing. The person acts consistently due to an internal belief, can articulate a philosophy of worldview, can break down complex situations and respond accordingly based on values, develops and lives by a code of personal behavior. Dear friends, you can see here receiving, responding, and valuing. These 3 values are in the purview of educational institutions, whether it is school education or higher education. Whereas organizing and characterizing are developed throughout one's life, depending upon one's own experiences. Receiving, responding, and valuing are within the purview of educational institutions. Once again, I am reiterating the fact. Then I am going to discuss now the 7 levels of psychomotor domain, starting with the lowest level, perception, then set, then guided response, then mechanism, then complex over response, then adaptation, then origination. In the subsequent slide, I shall explain the meanings of all the 7 levels in psychomotor domain. Level 1, the lowest level, perception, that is nothing but awareness. The ability to use sensory cues, that are signals, to guide motor activity. This ranges from sensory stimulation through cue selection to translation. The next higher level, level 2, set, that is readiness. A learner's readiness to act. It includes mental, physical, and emotional sets. Level 3, guided response, that is attempt. The early stages in learning a complex skill that includes imitation, trial, and error. Then level 4, mechanism, basic proficiency, the ability to perform a complex motor skill. The movements can be performed with some confidence. All these levels up to level 4 are within the purview of our higher education or school education. Level 5, that is complex overt response, expert proficiency, that can be developed over a period of time, even beyond graduation. The skillful performance of motor acts that involve complex movement patterns. Proficiency is indicated by a quick, accurate, and highly coordinated performance requiring a minimum of energy. Then level 6, adaptation, adaptable proficiency, a learner's ability to modify motor skills to fit a new situation. Then level 7, origination, creative proficiency, a learner's ability to create new movement patterns to fit a new situation. So level 7, creative proficiency, is the highest of all, and only very few individuals can achieve the level 7 and level 6, whereas majority of individuals can achieve up to level 5 and up to level 4. These 4 levels are within the purview of educational institutions. Psychomotor domain of learning plays a very important role in laboratory courses and field-based courses. While formulating course outcomes for lab courses, due importance must be given for the psychomotor domain. Please note this point, sir. The course outcomes of lab courses must include operation of the instruments, building the circuits, etc., which include the physical activity. The COs of lab courses must also include the cognitive domain, like interpretation of experimental data and drawing conclusions. Social sciences related courses must include fieldwork wherever necessary. The course outcomes must reflect the outcomes of the fieldwork. Humanities and language related courses must also include the laboratory or fieldwork component wherever necessary. It is the best practice to design courses consisting of the theory component, laboratory component, and or fieldwork component. The course outcomes may then be written appropriately, including both cognitive and psychomotor skills. Please note this point, sir. Affective domain. Affective domain plays a very important role in the learning process as it relates to emotions, feelings, interests, and attitudes which are not measurable with quantification. It is difficult to include affective domain in formulating course outcomes. Nevertheless, the instructional strategies, the motivational strategies, the teacher-student relationship inside and outside the classroom, institutional culture have great impact on the affective domain. Affective domain is very, very important, sir. Once the affective domain of the students is made stronger towards learning, it will have a very strong influence on both the cognitive and psychomotor domains of learning. You see here in this diagram, I have presented all the 3 cognitive skills related to thinking and problem solving, affective skills related to motor, emotional growth, interpersonal development, and also psychomotor skills, physical activity. All these 3 are important towards holistic learning. Thus, all the 3 domains of learning must be given due emphasis in higher education to make it holistic education in order to produce holistic individuals. Thank you very much.